Back at Bosse Field, ready for the top of the first inning. Here is Greg Langman's starting lineup for the Washington Wild Things. Again, only one change from last night's ball game, and it involves the starting shortstop for the Washington Wild Things. We'll get to that in a moment. James Harris, the league's MVP, leads things off for Washington tonight. He'll be followed by the left fielder Roman Collins. First baseman Raydel Medina bats third. Cleanup man is Hector Roa. He plays right field once again. Second baseman Carter McEachern bats in the 5 spot. Kyle Pollock is tonight's catcher. He bats 6th. Ryan Cox is the new shortstop, replacing Ramsey Romano in the lineup. He bats 7th. Chase Simmons, the designated hitter, bats 8th. And Dom Euro is the third baseman, batting 9th against the tall right-hander Tyler Beardsley. Ready to go for the Evansville Otters. Beardsley 6'4", out of Tehachapi, California. Former Twins farmhand. And game 2 just about to get underway here from Bosse Field. Standing in is James Harris. Harris 1 for 4 last night. No homers. Did not have a run batted in the ball game either. A 6th inning single was a big part of that 3-run 6th, though, for Washington as Beardsley gets ready to deliver. His first pitch will come in for a strike at 6:35 Central Time. We are underway in game 2 of the Frontier League Division Series. 0-1 on Harris. Beardsley out of the wind is 0-1. Hit out in the air towards left center field. Could be extra bases for Harris. If not for the center fielder, a diving attempt, but he won't get it. It rolls to the wall. Harris around first and into second. Leadoff double here in game 2 for the leadoff man Harris. He does his job, league's MVP on second base with nobody out in the top of the first. Looking for a quick start to the ball game tonight if you're Washington, after having the first 11 batters that came to the plate for the Wild Things set down in order yesterday by the starter Randy Wynn. Before things got out of hand for Wynn in the 6th inning. Here is Roman Collins, who knocked in the first run of the ball game yesterday for Washington, tied the game at 1 in the 6th. And total was 2 for 4, added a home run in the 8th inning for his second hit of the night, one of 2 Washington hitters to have a multi-hit performance last night. First pitch from Beardsley outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Home run, 2 runs batted in yesterday for Collins. Harris on second base, 1-0 count to Collins. Nobody out in the first inning. Beardsley, 7 starts, 29 appearances in the 2018 regular season for Evansville. He misses with a slider downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. 5-8 the record, 4.35 earned run average, 72 1/3 innings pitched. Also had a save. It came against the Wild Things. In the series before the All-Star break at Wild Things Park, 61 hits in 72 1/3 innings. 50 punch-outs, 35 walks, and a hit batter. Called strike here in the 2-0 count. It goes to 2 balls, 1 strike on Roman Collins. You'll see that flashed at the top of the screen the entire night. Game 3 at Wild Things Park on Friday, 7:05 first pitch. Get your tickets at WashingtonWildThings.com or by calling the box office. 724-250-9555. Collins takes outside. 3 balls and a strike. At some point, I'm going to move that up and put that other information underneath it when we get an opportunity. 3-1 to Collins is outside ball 4, and first 2 base runners are aboard for Washington. Nobody out here in the first inning. Man, if the Wild Things can get a couple of first inning runs, changes the complexion of the ball game and allows Chase Cunningham some breathing room when he takes the mound in the bottom of the first for Washington. Raydel Medina will stand in now with runners on first and second, nobody out. Medina was 2 for 4 last night in the ball game. No home runs and did not bat in a run, but was a pretty integral part of the win last night. He doubled for the first Wild Things hit as the 12th batter to come to the plate in total. 3rd to come to the plate in the 4th inning for Washington yesterday. Double down the right field line, got the Wild Things in the hit column. He takes outside here from Beardsley, 1 ball, no strikes. Harris on second, Collins on first base, nobody out. Beardsley set a look back at the runner at second, and the pitch home is grounded softly foul to the right side as Medina finds himself in a 1-1 count now. Tyler Beardsley, a 16th round pick in the 2016 MLB Amateur Draft out of California State University, Sacramento. Spent time with Class A Cedar Rapids in the Twins organization and 2 rookie ball teams, including the Elizabethton Twins. Medina swings and misses, foul tip back into the glove, in fact. For strike 2, it's a ball and 2 strikes on the 3-hitter for Washington. 150 innings in the Twins organization. He was 7-11 with a 4.32 earned run average. Has only pitched against Washington once. Mentioned the save that he does have this year was against the Wild Things. It was a 3-inning performance. That ball off to the left by Medina as both runners had taken off. It's towards the Wild Things bullpen. Long gives it a look, but it's out of play. Get you the full defensive alignment for the Evansville Otters in a moment. Medina still on a 1-2 count. 3 scoreless innings in relief for Beardsley against Washington back on July 6th with 2 hits allowed and 4 punch-outs. His only save of the 2018 season came in that 3-inning performance. Here comes another 1-2 to Raydell Medina on the way. Fastball swing and a miss, and a good pitch from Beardsley there as he gets Medina swinging for out number 1 and a big first out for him too. Everything is magnified in the Frontier League postseason in any playoff setting across any sport that you can play or find. The room for error goes down, the margin for error goes down, if that's maybe the better way to put it. And everything, pitch by pitch, especially in baseball, gets magnified in the playoffs. You make one bad pitch to Hector Roa here and potentially a 3-run homer, and you find yourselves down 3-0. And in a playoff game, that is much harder to come back from than in a regular season game. Just with, again, how everything is everything is magnified. Hector Roa was 0 for 4 last night. He struggled at the plate over the course of the last 2 weeks or so. As he swings and fouls a pitch back to the backstop, 0-1 to start his night. Mentioned Beardsley just has started 7 games. They've been his last 7 appearances. He's never lasted more, well, he's outside of one start where he lasted 8 1/3, never lasted more than 6 innings. In terms of outs recorded in the ball game, he's lasted 6 innings 3 times, including that 8 1/3 performance. He gave up 3 runs and 2 hits, but walked 5 and punched out 6 against River City on August 24th, and a no decision for him. 0-1 pitch to Roa is low for a ball below the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. His run log in the starts going back to the first one, July 28th at River City: 2-4 with 1 earned, 2-9 with 8 earned, 5 earned, 3 and 3 all earned. 1-1 check swing by Roa. He's rung up on it, a ball and 2 strikes. As Beardsley gets over with the breaking ball, probably would have been a called strike anyway, but they ring Roa up on the swing and say it was on that. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to the Wild Things. Clean up man, runners on first and second. 1 out here in the top of the first of game 2. Washington leads the Frontier League Division Series 1-0. Beardsley a couple of checks back with James Harris at second, and a fastball towards Roa is called a strike in the outside corner, and Roa down. Looking for the second out of the inning, and Beardsley, after giving up the double to Harris and the walk to Collins, has come back with back-to-back punch-outs. Trying to get his Evansville Otters to the bat rack for the first time without any runs put up for Washington. Here comes the second baseman, Carter McEachern, trying to change that. 1 for 2 last night for McEachern. Drove and run with a sacrifice fly in the 6th. That was the 3rd run of the game for Washington. Also walked in the ball game on 4 pitches against Randy Wynn, the starter. He was the second base runner for Washington last night before the 6th. Takes low here, a ball and no strikes from Beardsley to McEachern. Harris on second, Collins on first. 1-0 pitch, outside, 2 balls, no strikes. What Beardsley was able to do with both Roa and Medina was work from ahead for the most part. He threw a first pitch ball to Medina, but then came back with 4 straight strikes. Hector Roa got a first pitch foul ball, then went to 1-1 before 2 more strikes to get Roa looking. Now working from behind. Here's Beardsley's 2-0 to McEachern. Line drive back through the middle, base hit. James Harris is going to be waved around third. The throw is going to go to third, so Washington will plate the first run of the ball game on McEachern's RBI single. Harris scores. It's 1-0 Washington in the first. And Roman Collins, a quick slap of the brakes to go back to second base as he realized the throw was coming to third. Looked up at the third base coach and manager, Greg Langben, saw that. So McEachern drives in the run. His second RBI of the 2018 postseason, with his second hit of the postseason as well. It's 1-0 Wild Things as Kyle Pollock comes to the plate with the same situation as McEachern did. First and second, 2 outs. This time Washington leads by a run. Here's the pitch. It's outside. Missing with a breaking ball was Beardsley. 1 ball, no strikes. Not a guy that's going to flash the radar gun up in the 95 range. Really not going to light up the radar gun at all. He's got a couple of good breaking balls that he can go to. Here's Beardsley's 1-0. Ground ball left side through for a base hit into left. Roman Collins is going to be waved around third. Here comes the throw from the left fielder Travis Harrison. It is late. It is 2-0 Washington as Kyle Pollock delivers an RBI single. And Washington out to a 2-0 advantage in game 2. On the plate, a third, McEachern. And Pollock has his first postseason run batted in.
Number 8, shortstop.
Quick start for the Wild Things. One of the formulas of success during the regular season. Washington did not score in the game last night first, but in the regular season was 37-7. When the ball club did put up the first run of the ball game. Here's the pitch to Ryan Cox. It's low from Beardsley, a ball and no strikes, and Beardsley's got to find himself a way out of this now for Evansville and try to limit this damage. Runner on third base is McEachern. On first, Pollock after the RBI single. 2-0 Washington in the first. Beardsley set. The right-hander looks over at third. A long look in. Cox pops this one up towards short center field. Left fielder, shortstop, and Cullen, the center fielder, out to get it. And Cullen is the one to make the grab on Cox for the third out of the inning. Washington plates 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 2 runners are left on base by the Wild Things, but the damage is done here in the first. Washington 2, Evansville coming to bat on the Wild Things Baseball Network. Headed to the home first of Frontier League Division Series Game 2 action. Here at Bosse Field, it's the Wild Things 2.
The second baseman, David Cronin.
And the Evansville Otters nothing. David Cronin, the second baseman, will lead things off against the starter Chase Cunningham. Third baseman Ryan Long bats second. For Andy McCauley and the Otters tonight, Travis Harrison plays left field, bats third. Jeff Gardner, the right fielder, fourth. Carlos Castro is the first baseman, batting fifth. Sixth spot belongs to catcher Brant Whiting. Designated hitter Austin Bush in the 7th spot. J.J. Gold, the shortstop, 8th. And Hunter Cullen, the center fielder, 9th. Called strike to David Cronin to start him off. He was 2 for 4 in last night's ball game. For the Evansville Otters. Pitch is low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cunningham this season in 20 starts was 7-6. Logged 117 1/3 innings this year. Is the new, as he gets set for a 1-1. Pitch is low for a ball below the knees. The new Wild Things franchise record holder for career innings pitched. Past Justin Hall, the previous record holder, who had 274. He's got 374, excluding playoff starts. He made 1 last year in the Frontier League Division Series. Called strike to Cronin, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Looking for a better one tonight. It's not that Cunningham was atrocious in the start last year. He was good enough for Washington to win. 5 innings, but allowed 5 runs on 5 hits in Game 2 of the Frontier League Division Series last year against Florence. Pitch upstairs to Cronin here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. '18 Frontier League All-Star chops this one to the right side towards the other All-Star second baseman on the rookie team, Carter McEachern. Throw to first base in time, and Cronin is retired for the first out of the bottom of the first inning. Bring up Ryan Long, the third baseman, postseason All-Star third baseman in this league.
Number 7, the third baseman, Ryan Long.
It'll bring up Ryan Long. As mentioned, he was 0 for 2 in last night's game. Cunningham quickly, the first pitch to him. A fastball is at the knees for a strike. 0-1. Cunningham did get the win in Game 2 of the Frontier League Division Series last year, the only winning pitcher for Washington in that series, given it was the only game Washington won. Called strike here. No balls, 2 strikes. had lost game 1 in kind of heartbreaking fashion, to be completely honest. In the top of the 9th, Trevor Foss, trying to get Washington a win, gave up a home run. Game ended up going to extra innings. Florence took it. Pitches low here to Ryan Long, a ball and 2 strikes. It was a really dominant performance from Trevor Foss, even with the home run included. 1-2 is swung on and missed. A breaking ball. Cunningham's got a punch out. For the second out of the first inning, as the left-handed hitting third baseman Long goes down on strikes. And now Travis Harrison, the left fielder, to the plate for Evansville, trying to get something going for the Otters in the home first.
Travis Harrison.
Washington has not won a playoff series since 2007. It swept the Gateway Grizzlies in the Frontier League Division Series that year. Since then, well, only 2 playoff appearances after that. 2014, a win in the wild card game here at Bosse Field. I talked a little bit about that last night. We'll revisit tonight at some point. Called strike to Harrison 0-1, and lost in the Frontier League Division Series that year to River City. 1 is over for a strike from Cunningham. 0-2 to Harrison quickly. It was 0-3 last night in the ball game. But then in 2017, we just talked about it. Frontier League Division Series lost to the Florence Freedom, who ended up being the runner-up in the league last year, to Schaumburg. 0-2 pitch to Harrison is low. Breaking ball missing in the dirt. I should say the dirt here. One of the only 2 fields in the league that is still natural surface. Grass and dirt, and it is kept very well here at Bosse Field. 1-2 is low for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just had a chance to walk around a little bit today. It's even better kept now, and you'd imagine so with given an entire summer and a playoff series here as well. But this field is kept extremely well. Ground ball to the left side. Ryan Cox, the shortstop, is up with it. His throw to first base is in time and on target. And a 6-3 put out. Chase Cunningham's got a 1-2-3 bottom of the first after Washington plated 2 runs in the top half. We'll head to the second after 1, Washington 2, Evansville nothing on the Wild Things Baseball Network.